Okay, so if you have this burning desire to start your own business, but you're working full time and you have no idea how to do both, watch this video because by the end, I am going to give you a plan and a structure that you can follow to grow your freelance business on the side while you're still working your 9 to 5. What's up, everybody? This is Jaylene from The New Housewife. Thanks so much for being here with me today. On this channel, we talk all about how career-minded moms can quit their 9 to 5 and be self-employed. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you are a career-minded mom and you are ready to quit your 9 to 5 and be self-employed, then I want you to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you get notified every Tuesday when I put up a new video. All right, so since you are working a 9 to 5 and you want to start a business so that you have more freedom in your schedule and in your finances and you're able to wear sweatpants all day if you want to, or take your kids to the park in the middle of the day, whatever it is, you need a plan for how to organize all the things, right? Trust me, I 100% understand. I have 3 kids. I work full-time inside of my business as a virtual assistant, and then on the side, I am growing The New Housewife and doing all of this content for you. So I fully understand the challenges with just balancing everything. Not only are we supposed to be able to be the dutiful wife and the patient and sweet, kind mother and the exceptional kick-ass employee, and have time to grow our own business, which is where all of our dreams and aspirations and passions live, right? So I 100% get it, and I want to give you some tips and some ideas and a plan that you can follow to make it all happen. So at The New Housewife, I talk all about quitting your 9 to 5 and being self-employed, and I really focus on starting a freelance business and or blogging as a business, because those are the things that I am kind of an expertise at. Wait, I'm an expertise? No, I have expertise at, I am an expert at, because I've done them. So I understand how the process works, how to do it successfully, and how to actually get the results that you want. So this plan that I'm going to lay out for you today and these tips, these are things that you can use if you want to start a freelance business and get out of your 9 to 5, or if you want to start a blog and monetize it so that you're making that kind of passive income. Now, with both of these options, with starting a freelance business and blogging too as a business, there are ways to diversify your income streams and bring in more passive income with things like online courses or membership sites or selling ebooks, or there's all kinds of different ways that you can monetize to a level of passive income. But everybody has to start at the beginning, right? So this video is all about helping you figure out how to do all of this stuff on the side while you're working your 9 to 5. With a freelance business, the exit strategy is going to be growing the business to a point where you have enough clients that you can afford to quit your 9 to 5. With a blog, the exit strategy is going to be having enough traffic and email subscribers to afford being able to quit your 9 to 5. So they are both basically the same thing, except that freelancing, you need people who are buying your time, and blogging, you need people who are interested in your content and invested in your message. I will say that blogging as a business is going to take longer because it takes a little while for SEO and all of the things that go into growing a blog. It takes longer for those things to kind of take hold and gain traction. Starting a freelance business is going to happen a little bit quicker because you can always find people out there who want to hire you to do stuff that they don't want to do, So with all of that in mind, let's go ahead and jump into these tips that I have for you on how to quit your 9 to 5 and put all of that into place while you're still working full-time. Okay, so the first step is you need to create a household budget. And this might seem completely unrelated and you're like, why would I need to do that? That has nothing to do with starting a business, blah, blah, blah. But it 100% does, because you need to set a benchmark. You need to know exactly how much money you need to make in order to be able to quit your 9 to 5. And once you know how much money you need to make, then you can kind of work backwards from there as far as how much to charge for your services, how many clients you need, blah, blah, blah. So the very first step is to get your budget together. All right, I want to know how much you spend on groceries and gas and car payments and rent or mortgage and, daycare and whatever else it is that you have. Also keep in mind that you're putting this scenario together for when you no longer work your 9 to 5. So I just mentioned daycare, but when you don't have a 9 to 5 anymore, are you going to need full-time daycare? Or maybe just part-time, because you will be home with your kiddo the other half of the time. You'll work in the morning and take them in the afternoon or something along those lines. So be thinking about your budget in the scenario of you don't work at 9 to 5 anymore. How much money do you need? Now for me, when I first did this budget thing, it was terrifying because I didn't actually have a 9 to 5 anymore when I started my business. I actually left my 9 to 5, it wasn't really a rash decision, but it was a very quick decision. Our son had RSV. He was very, very sick. I needed to keep him out of daycare altogether. We were standing in the emergency room at the foot of his hospital bed, and I told my husband, I'm quitting my job. And I quit my job. And then all of a sudden I had to put together the budget because it was like payday rolled around and I didn't get paid. So what am I going to do? So putting your budget together and having a plan in place before you leave your 9 to 5, it's ideal. If it doesn't happen that way for you, I'm living proof that it's possible to work it out. But it's ideal to put a plan in place. And part of that plan means having your budget so that you have a benchmark of how many clients you need, how much you need to be charging them, how much you need to make every single month. So once you have your budget, you want to be thinking about your why. And this is something that always sounded so wooey to me, oh, what's your why? What's driving you? What's your passion? This kind of thing. But I am here to tell you, it is so friggin' important to know why you're doing all of the things that you're doing, because girl, I am telling you that when you get home from work after 9 to 5 or whatever your hours are, and you've made dinner and you've put the kids to bed and bath time and everything else, and it's time to sit down, do you want to be working on your business? Do you want to be doing client work? No, you don't. 100% you don't. You want to put your feet up, you want to have a beer or a glass of wine, and you want to relax and unwind and turn your mind off. So knowing your why, why the hell am I doing this? What was I thinking? Having that defined in advance of kind of the shit show that you're about ready to go into, is going to be so important to your soul, honestly. 100% just is going to pull you out of the darkness when you're feeling like this was a crazy idea. I need to just suck it up and stick with my career. And I don't mean to scare you. I know I'm making this out like darkness and shit show, and I'm making this out to be this really horrible thing. It's not. It's fantastic. I shouldn't say never. I will try to never go back to a 9 to 5 again. I love my life. I love the freedom that I have in my life. But it is hard work to get it going when you're working full time. I don't always feel like making these videos or writing a blog post or showing up on Instagram or anything else that I need to do to grow the New Housewife and help you after I have been helping all of my clients with, you know, an affiliate launch or, I mean, just any number of crazy projects. I don't always want to do it, but my why is I want to help you. Like, I want you to know that this is possible. That is what drives me and what pulls me into, you know, my office to go and do work at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, which is what time it happens to be right now. So I'm here because of my why. So it's really important that you identify that. Don't skip this part. Don't disregard it. Journal every day about your why. Make a vision board. Do something, put something up that reminds you about what the reason is for starting this whole journey, because it will help you tremendously once things start to get hard, because they will. The next thing you have to do is make a plan and stick with it. So if you are starting a freelance business or a blog and you have, you know, an idea of the steps that you're going to take to grow this thing, you have to stick with your plan. You have to do one step after the other after the other. Don't skip ahead. Don't do one step half-ass. Don't, you know, rearrange the steps or something like that. We call it shiny object syndrome, and it's so easy to fall victim to because there are brilliant marketers out there who know just exactly what to say to make you feel like they have the magic pill that's going to turn this into money in your pocket like now. They don't. You have to do the work. You have to take the steps. So if you don't know what the steps are, I will link a video that I did on, you know, the steps that you need to take to start your business. I will link that video in the description of this video so that you have an idea of what those steps are. As soon as you get a clear idea of the steps that you're going to take, stay on the path. Stick with that roadmap, and in fact, I actually have a free download that I will also link in the description of this video that is all of the steps that you need to take. It's called the Online Business Roadmap, and it will give you exactly the steps that you need to take to start your business. So once you have that plan and once you know exactly the steps that you're going to take, stay on the path. Stay in your lane, eyes front, focused, blinders on, one step at a time. Be kind to yourself. Progress is perfection. You are not going to be able to do it all right now. Give yourself plenty of time to do this. I know that you are just yearning, and I never use that word, to get out of your 9-to-5, but you have to do it smart. So make sure that you're following the steps and that you are staying on the path and taking, you know, one piece of progress at a time, building on top of building, because that is going to be how you get there. And finally, I want you to bubble wrap your work time, the time that you are going to work on your business. I want you to protect it from everything, from every distraction. And yes, I know how difficult this is with kids because I do it. But you know, that's what you have to do. You have to protect that time. And this is when your why is really going to drive you. So I'm up between 5:30 and 6 every morning, and I work for usually about 2 hours on my business. And then I take my kiddo to school and I go to the gym and I come home and I shower and then I start my client work. And I set timers and I use time blocking, and I make sure that I am building time into my day to work on the new housewife and to do all of my client work and to be there for my kids. So it's 100% possible. You just have to be very kind of disciplined. So if you're working a 9 to 5, when do you have time to work on your business? Be realistic. Do you have the capacity to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and work for 2 hours? Or do you have the capacity to have the kids in bed by 8 and work on your business from 8:30 until 11:30? Can you carve out 2 to 4 hours each Saturday and Sunday to work on your business? Be realistic about what you can do and look at your calendar. I want you to time block this time. Highlight exactly the hours, the blocks of time that you are available to work on growing your business. And then from there, you have to be kind to yourself and realize that that is enough, that you are doing everything that you can. And while this may not happen as quickly as you want it to, it is going to happen if you don't quit. So if you only have an hour in the morning, 5 days a week, and then 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday, then that's all the time that you have available, and you can do a lot with that time. Now, obviously, you're going to have to take in consideration when you are applying for or sending out requests to certain jobs, you're going to have to take into consideration what time of day am I available to work on my client work, and make sure that your client is aware of that. And honestly, as long as you do the work and it's done by the time that you say it's done, most clients are not going to care that you're not available, around the clock. But you have to make sure that they know what to expect from you, that they know when they can expect their project returned to them, based on what you guys have agreed on. And this is why having a budget is so important, because you can start to figure out how many hours a week do I need to work for my clients in order to maybe move my full-time job to a part-time job. There are ways to gently transition out of your 9 to 5, but you have to be able to find that time in your week to work on your client work so that you can get paid, so that you can grow your business and quit your 9 to 5. The other option, honestly, is to do your business on the side for the 9 or 10 hours a week that you have available and stash all of that money away until you have, a good chunk of money to quit your 9 to 5 and ramp up your business and live off of that money that you have saved. That's also another option that you can do. But both options are going to require that you carve out the time in your week, bubble wrap that time, and leverage that time as best as you can to get done as much as you can for your clients. I will tell you right now that networking and referrals are huge in freelance business. So if you can get yourself, 3 to 5 clients just a few hours a week and wow them, just knock their socks off, you are going to rapidly grow your business just on referrals and networking and letting them know, I'm available for more hours if you know other people, etc. It's gonna mushroom cloud. It's going to grow exponentially, because online business owners have a whole list of things that they either don't have time to do or don't like to do. And they are always looking for good people that they can trust. And who can they trust more than someone that a colleague or a friend of theirs has recommended? So be that person. Carve out that time in your week, follow your plan and your steps, bubble wrap your time and make sure that you're leveraging it the best that you can to do the best possible work you can for your clients. All right, my darlings, we have come to the end of this video. Thanks so much for sticking around and listening to me again. I really appreciate you. Make sure that you like this video, give it the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments, what are your ideas for your freelance business or your blog? What are you thinking about doing to get yourself out of your 9-to-5? I want to hear about it. Also, make sure to download that freebie that I mentioned, the Online Business Roadmap. That's going to help you tremendously. And if you have any questions about anything, please email me at jaylene@thenewhousewife.com and we will rap about it. We'll figure things out. We'll get you sorted. Thank you so much again for being here with me, and I will see you on the interwebs.